Welcome back to MrJayDM. This is the final video of the dual point to multi-point to OBD1 harness on a 91 Civic hatch, but this is the same for sedans, CRXs, wagons, anything of the same vintage 88 through 91. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get this video rolling. All right, at this point we have our harness done, but we need to make the other end of this, and it will go into the cabin and connect to the ECU. And so we have this will plug into there, and then the other end will go into the ECU. Two of them are injectors and two of them are the distributor wires. So right now we're going to make this. We need to extend it 3 feet. All right, so we have our ECU plugs here I got from the junkyard. This is the A plug, the B plug, and the C plug. We don't need the B plug, but what we need is two of the, we need to depin 2 of the wires from the A plug and 2 of the wires from the C plug, because 2 of the wires are going to go to the injectors and 2 of them are going to go to the distributor. And the 2 distributor plugs go in the C and the 2 injector plugs go into the A. So we're going to depin 2 of these. That way we can finish creating our harness, our interior harness. The A plug is just the standard depin method where you shove this down into there and then pull the plug out. We're going to use 2 yellows. We got 1, and where's another yellow? Right here. And there's another yellow. All right, now on the C plug, you have to remove these 2 tabs on each side, and you can pop out this little plastic piece. That way you can depin the wires. And they stick over here on the side as well. All you gotta do is push in over here on the side. Focus. And then you can just slide this piece out. Now we're just going to grab these 2 green wires. And to depin these, focus. You stick it in the center. It's that one. And you push at an angle. Push hard and it pops out. And there it is. Now we're going to extend these wires 3 feet. We need them to go from here all the way down through there and into the cabin, right where the ECU is at. All right, at this point you want to remove the ECU and run that wire harness that we made through the firewall. I just got like a brazing rod, taped it to it, and jammed it through. You will have to cut the tape off of this, and I slid it a little bit, that way it gives it a little bit more flex, and then pull the wire on through, and then right there is about as far as you need it, up to here. So I'm going to loom this section of the harness, because right here is as far as we need it. And I did not put the end pieces on this side yet, just because I've pulled them through and damaged them before, and I don't want to have to redo it all. So, but this is long enough to reach the plugs. This is your A, B, and C right here. All right, now we are in the wiring on the ECU side of this. We have our 2 injector wires, and then our 2 distributor wires, and I just need to solder the ends onto them, and then we can start pinning them into the ECU plugs, A, B, and C. Let me solder these up, and then I'll show you how to pin them up. All right, we got everything soldered. Now we're going to slide the heat shrink down and heat it up. Now let's figure out which injector is which. All right, so I know the blue and the brown injector are wires that go to the ECU, so we have to follow the blue and brown wire. And I've got them soldered into these two. The blue wire is the white with the blue stripe, and the brown wire is the white with the yellow stripe. And they go over into here, which there I have a black and yellow and just a plain yellow. And then they come down here. The plain yellow goes to the orange, and the yellow black goes to the yellow red. Yeah, I know it's a clusterfuck, but that's how it's done. So the blue wire is this one. The blue is the yellow black, which goes to, did I say it was yellow red? Yellow black. Yeah, yellow black goes to the yellow red. So that is the blue injector, which is injector number 3. And we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we need to put injector 3, which is this one, into A3. And I'll throw a picture up right now. It's gonna be, that's A1, A2, A3, and then of course A4, A5, A6, and A7. Injector 3 goes into A3, and then injector 1 goes into A7. So we're gonna depin. So we're gonna depin A3 and A7. As you can see, we got A3 and A7 depinned. And now we're gonna pin in injector 3 into A3, and then injector 1 into A7. And now, one thing I want to point out, there is a write-up that most people use. It's the angle fire write-up. I'll post a link in the description for it. But they show the injectors backwards. They show it from the distributor 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 would be the timing belt, but that's not, that's backwards. So if you look at the write-up, then this was going to be A3 is injector 2 and A7 is injector 4. But in reality, A3 is injector 3 and A7 is injector 1. I hope that makes sense. Alright, and now these two extra wires right here that you depinned, we don't need these anymore. So you can clip them off, get rid of them, do whatever you want with them. Put some tape around them, whatever. We don't need those. Alright, next what we need to do is, you got plug A, B, C. And so this is plug C. You got 1, 2. C1 would be the orange wire, and C2 is the white wire. What we need to do is depin these, and then we got to move them to B10 and B12. So B10 and 12 are on the bottom row, and both of them should be empty. So it's like here and here somewhere. It may not, one of them may not be empty. But in order to depin these, you have to pull this little white thing out right here, and there's like little clips on the side right here. You just push that up, and same thing on this side. And then you can pry this out, and that slides out. We got to do both of them because we're pulling a wire from the top and bottom of the plug, which is C1 and C2. Come out of there. Alright, so we're going to depin these two. And a lot of people, they cut them, but there's no sense in cutting them because the pins on C are the same that are on B. To depin these, after you pull the white thing out, you can shove a pin down the center. It is very difficult in this angle. And you kind of like, to do the top one, you angle it up towards the top and push. And then there we go. Now we have to pull these little white plastic things off on the B plug. And the top of the plug is up here, and the top of the plug are all odd numbers. The bottom is even number. So on this one, we don't have to pull the top one. We only need to pull the bottom. So it's going to be, the first one is B1, B2. So this one is B2. And then that's 4, 6, 7, 8. Then that's 10. And then this blue one right here will be 12. So we need to depin this blue one. I don't know what the blue one is, but I guess we don't need it. And if you look at the plug, it actually says 15 and 17. on it. So I guess it's plug 15 and 17, but most people know this as being B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, and so on. So we're going to depin this blue one and B12 right here, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, get in there. All right, now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't come out, of course. I'm on the struggle bus with this one. There we go. I don't know why that was such a struggle. All right, so we got the C1 goes into B10. Which way does it go in there? Let's slide this way. Maybe it goes that way. All right, and then the white one, which is C2, goes into B12. All right, now that's done. And now we have our two crank angle wires, or cam, I don't know, the two wires that are on the distributor. All right, so when it comes to the last two wires on the distributor wires, typically you would have these two wires that you would have snipped off of like an SI harness, and it would be a blue yellow, and it's supposed to be a blue green, but it looks like a solid blue, but it's supposed to be blue green. These would go into C1 and C2, but because I used the adapter for OBD1 or OBD0 to OBD1, and I pinned that directly in where this plug would have been. This is the other end of the adapter. I have these two wires, which the blue yellow is now the red yellow. And now the other end of the adapter are these two plugs. And I'm going to assume, because I don't remember and I should have took note, but I'm going to assume the white one is now the blue yellow one, or the red blue wire, and that wire goes all the way to here, and it becomes the solid black wire, which then goes to the red yellow wire. If I'm wrong about this, then I can just swap them on the ECU when I try starting it. So we got the red yellow wire is going to go to C1. And then the black with a silver line on it, which turns into black with yellow, goes into C2. So this one, again, I had to cut it again. The red yellow goes into C1, and the black yellow goes into C2. Yeah, my wiring isn't great. It needs to be all one solid color from the distributor all the way back. It would make it so much easier, but I didn't have enough wire of the same color. And then I also didn't have the ends, so I cut and soldered this piece on to this end. It could be a lot nicer looking, but you know, it is what it is. It's gonna work. So now we're gonna grab this plug, and these first two are C1 and C2. C1 is the red and yellow. Which way does it go? All right, and then C2 is the black and yellow. On the distributor plug of a SI harness, an EF SI harness, C1 would be the blue-yellow and C2 would be the blue-green. All right, all the ECU wiring is done. So all we have to do is plug in the ECU and start the car. Hopefully it starts. But first things first, I gotta connect the fuel line to the fuel rail, which no big deal. And then I need to put the battery back in. So let me do that real quick. All right, so I almost forgot. We gotta hook up the ECU. This is a OBD0 to OBD1 adapter, and this plug right here goes to this harness, which has the VTEC connectors and some other connectors, which I honestly don't know what they're for just yet, but I'm gonna look it up. But it'll run without this for right now. We're just gonna see if it starts. That way I can wrap up all of this business and loom up my wiring harness. So let's connect this up to there. All right, and we got our battery. We're gonna have a vacuum leak. Let me find something to plug that up with. All right, we got our battery connected. This would normally go to the charcoal canister, and I can't find, I got those little rubber nipples that you can slide over. I can't find them, so this should be good enough. All right, let's, I need to get this connector on. The rest of them are already connected. Fuck. All right, I think we got all the sensors connected. Let's give it a first start. At this point, the car would not start, and I went through all kinds of testing my wiring and checking the injectors and checking the spark, and come to find out it's just something really stupid that I just overlooked. I'll include that portion of the video in a separate video in the final video of buttoning up all the details of this project. All right, as you can see, it started. All right, we got the harness out. We need to loom it all up. This temp sensor, I need to move it closer to the distributor or the alternator plug, and that's the only thing that needs to be done with that. I still need to fix the reverse switch wherever that is. I have not done that yet. And then this harness right here, I need to loom as well. That connects to the ECU. It's the 2 injectors and the 2 wires to the distributor. But right now we're going to focus on looming this thing up. All right, well, we got the harness all loomed up. Now we need to loom up. Now we need to loom this section. This is the O2 sensor. It was extended because normally the O2 is up front, but instead it's in the back. Can't see it, but it's down there. So I think I'm just gonna try to tape that up and leave it alone. Maybe tape where it was cut. Actually, it's already done, so we still need to do the reverse switch and all the interior stuff. All right, we got that loomed up. Now let's move on to the inside. We have to clean up this rat's mess, but then we also have to run this through the firewall because this is the sub harness for the OBD1. It has the VTech and other sensors that we don't need, but all we need is the VTech plugs. All right, we got the the ECU back up in there. There's like right here is where that adapter is, so it's, I don't know, it's the best I could do, but we got that taken care of. We got these extra wires right here. I don't know what to do with. I guess we'll just like tape them up and stuff them down in here. We got the VTech hooked up. Now let's get the harness and reinstall it. All right, so this concludes the dual point to multi-point to OBD1 wiring harness on 88 through 91 Honda Civics, sedans, CRX, wagon, hatch. There is a much better tutorial done by YoungStatic. Mine is, it's okay. I think I show all the majority of the detail that needs to be done, but it's a little long. YoungStatic has a video that's only 2 parts, and it's much shorter, and he does a really good job. But this is my series, and it is what it is. Hopefully it helps you. If not, sorry. It's the best I could do. I did another dual point to multi-point video, but it was a disaster. It just, I don't know what happened. I missed a lot, and I didn't record it the way I wanted to. This one turned out a little bit better. So again, hopefully it helped you, and I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video.